Mr. Evan, come on. Look, let me just introduce him properly. His hashtag is believe. And I want to know why that hashtag. Gary V called him the DJ who inspires people. And Ed Milet called him the modern day Napoleon Hill. Now, I've been quoted in Think and Grow Rich for Women. So I want to know why he's called the modern day Napoleon Hill. At 19, he built and sold a biotech company. At 22, he was a venture capitalist, raising 502, listen to this, 15 million. He'll tell us from what. He runs a YouTube channel. I just checked. It's 2.99 million, almost 3 million subscribers. Views in the hundreds of millions, wrote amazing books, and he's going to tell us about this amazing book today, which is called Build to Serve. That I want to know more of. He wants to solve the world's biggest problem. People who don't believe in themselves. Like, I really want to hear about that. Forbes named him one of the world's top 40 social marketing talents, and he'll tell us because I've read. And Inc. named him the 100 great leadership speakers in the globe, 25 social media keynotes and counting. He set 2 world records. Now, this is, I'm intrigued. Using trampoline and a stand-up desk, like seriously, why? Owns Canada's largest salsa studio, and I've been to Toronto, and I love Toronto. I met his wife there as well, with this big Doritos bag in front of him all day to remind him of why it's there. I see it, it's there. Why he's doing what he's doing. Toronto is his home, and he's a fan of so many things, a father, an amazing husband as well. Let's welcome the one, the only, Mr. Evan Carmichael.
That is some energy. I like it. I'm ready. Let's go. There's so many things to dive into. You tell me where you want to start, and that's what we do.
Seriously, 19, a biotech company, like seriously, and then 22 venture cap. How did that all come about? Because your background does not state you are doing that sort of thing. You were shy, you were sort of, pulled back. You didn't want to sort of let everybody else know, but yet you were building multi-million-dollar companies. What's up with that?
Honestly, Camilita, it was just a fear of regret. So here's what happened. I thought I wanted to be a banker. I went to university, all that stuff. Like my high school yearbook says, we're going to be in 10 years. You gotta, I don't know if you have to do that. At the end of our high school, like you got to fill that in the yearbook. Yeah. Mine said VP at a bank. And so I always loved the stock market and that kind of stuff. But I had this opportunity to either join 2 people who had started a biotech software company who I connect with in university, and I would own 30% of the company and make $300 a month. So it's not like, I'm rich yet. Or I go and take the job and make 6 figures out of university and travel around the world and do investment banking, the thing I thought I wanted to do. Wow. And that was the hardest decision in my life. And all my friends are going for the fancy jobs and all that. It's what we all studied for. And I said, you know what? I don't want to live with regret. I don't want to be, so I was 19. I would say when I'm an old man at 40, and I'm 41 now. So I said, when I'm old and it's over, I'm 40, I'm going to look back on my life and regret this moment. And that gave me the courage to say, you know what, I'm just going to try for a year. I'll take a year. I'll do my business. If it doesn't work out, I'll go back and get a job. It may not be the same job. Maybe it'll be as much pay, but I could get another job. I didn't know if I'd ever have this chance again to do it. So I decided, even if the most likely outcome is failure, I have to know, because I'd rather know and fail than not know. And
stay right there. That's so powerful.
Okay.
Why is it that so many people don't want to know and fail than not know? Why? Because your whole premise is all about that whole belief nation. Why is that so many people don't want to do exactly that?
Because we don't think about the future regret enough, because starting the thing is painful, because there's a chance of rejection. There's a chance of it not working out. As an example, like real live moment right now. So just before this show, I was talking to Mark Randolph on my Instagram Live. We're doing an interview with him for my YouTube channel, and he's the co-founder of Netflix. And so when that came across my table, I was like, do you want to interview Mark Randolph for your channel? Do you want to have a conversation with the co-founder of Netflix? I'm like, Yes. But then immediately all of the fears said like, oh my gosh, I don't know anything about him. I don't, what if I ask a stupid question? What if I don't? And so there's a tendency to then go instantly into delay. Like, yeah, I like that, but I'll do it. How about next month or next whatever? And you push it off. But really it's because I'm afraid. I'm just afraid, right? I'm afraid of, especially in a live setting, right? It's not like it's pre-recorded. This is going to be a live setting with a live audience. What if I just ask something stupid or something happens? And this is still this is still now. This is just happened
Wow.
8 minutes ago, right? So it's
Wow.
not like I'm over this and it was something that looking back 10 years later, but I constantly remind myself that I want to jump into the things that make me afraid, especially if the fear is other people's opinions, right?
Wow.
Like if you're afraid of jumping into an alligator's mouth, like yes, that's a good, like you should be afraid of that.
Yeah, of course.
That's probably stupid. Don't do that.
Yeah.
But being afraid to be on stage or to make a video or to do an interview or to launch your program is really just fear of other people's opinions, judgments, expectations. And as long as you live inside that fear, you will
Mm.
never do anything great. And so that's what I try to lean in on. Anytime I feel that fear, it's a reminder to go do the thing just because I'm afraid of it.
So question. You obviously are all over social media in a major way. I mean, we talked about this, almost 3 million followers on YouTube alone and hundreds of thousands everywhere else. And yet you still have that fear. Just, I want to tap into that for a minute because the book is called Build to Serve. So what are you saying to us is that regardless of what's going on, our focus is not on other people's opinion, but it's just on doing the thing that will help us serve others. Is that correct?
Yeah. So you ask great questions. I love it. It's great. For me, whenever I'm going to do something difficult, I lean in on two things. There's a hug and there's a push. Okay. So if I'm afraid to go speak on a stage, or I'm afraid to talk to Mark Randolph, or I'm afraid to come on this show, there's a hug and there's a push. The push is what we just talked about. The push is I do difficult things. So if I say scary, difficult, or hard, those three words are trigger words for me. Scary, difficult, hard. If I wrote it, if I thought it, if I said it, if I texted it, I then have to do it because I don't want to accept scary, difficult, hard as a good enough reason for me not to do the thing. No longer. Like just people accept it. Oh, I'm afraid to do it. Oh, so okay, so I won't. No, I don't want that anymore. Fear is no longer a good enough reason. It's not about being fearless. It's about facing the fear and doing it. Yeah. Not even what's the expression? Feel the fear and do it anyway.
And do it anyway, yeah.
Not even do it anyway. Do it because you're afraid of the thing. Now you have to go do it because until you do it, you'll always be ruined by that fear. Like that fear is always going to be there for the rest of your life until you do something about it.
All right, let me ask a question. Stay right there. I'm loving this. What are some of the greatest fears that all humans face that every single day we have to overcome if we truly are built to serve?
It's some version of other people's judgments and expectations. It's the biggest fear is other people's opinions. Wow. Most of the things that we're afraid of you're not really afraid of drowning. You're not really afraid of falling off a building. You're not really afraid of starving. Like all the things that there's no saber-tooth tiger coming after you, right? I mean, the things that we used to be really afraid of that were actually life and death are not really life and death anymore. We're just afraid of other people's opinions. So anytime that I catch it, then I have to go do something about it.
So question, do you think, right there, let's stay right there. This is really good. This is good. Do you think social media has amplified this at 10 times more? Because as you and I know, we all want to look amazing. We all want to feel amazing. And social media have this sort of thing that we all need to look and feel great all the time. And I love when I watch your videos on YouTube and I watch your stuff on Instagram, you are you. You're just you. You're playing you. You're not trying to be someone else to be liked. You're just delivering, serving others. Do you think social media has a big part, and what can people do to overcome this?
Well, I think the key word is amplified. I think same thing with money. Like money doesn't make you bad. Money just kind of exposes who you are. If you were already a negative person and treating people poorly, now you'll treat people poorly on a bigger level. But if you love people, you can use money to go help more people too. So it just exposes people more. I think as humans, we are wired to care what other people think. That's part of what is in our nature, because we need connection, we need support, we need love. Nobody wants to go, even me as the most, I'm pretty introvert and shy. I still need connection. I still need people around me. So if anytime that there's the risk of losing that connection, we're worried about it. That being said, my favorite thing to do on social is to share. I love when people ask the behind the scenes questions, where I can share the stories of, you were still afraid to do the, yes, I've had Tony Robbins on my channel twice, and Matthew McConaughey, and all these people, and I was still afraid to do this one 8 minutes ago, or maybe 12 minutes ago now. I love sharing that kind of stuff, because it people expect it to go away. It never goes away. You're just capable of doing bigger things. So there's a great quote that says, "Beyond the mountain is more mountains."
Yes.
And I love that idea of, like, we've all realized that, hey, when you get to the top of the mountain, you reach a goal, you might be happy for the moment, but then it's like, oh, well, like, what's next? The goal isn't to hit the mountain. The goal is to keep climbing.
Stay there. Let me ask another question then. Now, you look, I'm seriously, like, you got to help us with this one, right? Because there are people listening to you and thinking, what do you have? Like, an introvert building almost 3 million followers on YouTube and hundreds of thousands everywhere else. Like, seriously, right? How? What is your secret sauce? What do you do every day? And I know you are out to serve. That hence the reason the book is built to serve. And for everybody that's listening, wherever you're listening, okay, this book came out in March. Go to evancarmichael.com and get that book. It's /built to serve. Go and get that book and understand his reasoning behind what he's doing and why, and how we're all built to serve. So let's come back to this bit here. How 3 million of you, and you're an introvert. How? Come on. For me, who's a talker, like, I don't have that many. I mean, seriously, help us out here.
Yeah. Well, so this is great, because we're bringing different energies, right? I mean, you're over the top energy, hang with Camilita, you're gonna leave feeling like you just drank 18 Red Bulls. That's great. Like, go take me. I'm different, but it's great. Here's what I do every week. Every month I post to my social, my traction and my history on YouTube, because I've been doing this for 12 years or so. Yeah. And in the first 5 years, I only had 5,000 or 7,000 subscribers on the channel. It wasn't a lot, So
what changed? What changed?
Well, but the what changed isn't as important as why keep going. Like, who keeps going after 5 years of not seeing results, 7,000 subscribers, and then the next 5 years it went from 7,000 to 2 million. But it's in the first 5 years of, how do you keep going? Like, how do you wake up every day and you're upset, like, oh my God, only 4 people saw my video. Nobody's left a comment, and that's where most people quit. So
I'm laughing because I'm there right now.
well, but like, welcome to the club. That's where most people are, and most people quit too soon. And so the thing that one is, it takes a while to get good at something, right? I mean, you are already, just with your personality and your vibe, you're already way better than I was. I mean, maybe even now, but you're way better than I was when I got started, right? So I would look at someone like you and say, I'm never going to get there. How does she do it? I can never do it. For me, it was Les Brown. I don't know if you know Les Brown. Young Les Brown, to me, is the greatest speaker of all time. And I'm actually talking to him tomorrow, and talking to him some strategy, which is crazy how kind of the full circle the world becomes. But young Les Brown is my hero from a speaker. And I would look at him initially and say, I can never do that. Like, that's crazy what this man can do. I'm never going to be that good. But I flipped it to say, hold on, that's what's possible. That's what's humanly possible. And I'm comparing my start to his middle. It's not a fair comparison. So what I did was, how did I keep going through the 5 years of not seeing results? Yeah. I always focused on who I had instead of who I didn't. So if you have 50 people who watch your video, imagine if you were going to speak at a library and 50 people showed up. You'd be pretty excited by that. You'd be feeling nervous. You're like, oh my God, I hear 50 people. I got to make sure I deliver a message. But if it's 50 people who see your YouTube video, you feel like a total failure. It doesn't matter. So I would always focus on who was watching instead of worrying about who is not, because that game never ends. Because great, now I hit 3 million. Well, it's not 10, it's not 20, and it's not, because there's always the next of where you want to go.
Yeah.
So I would always focus on who I do have watching. And what you said at the beginning of this, I don't remember if it was kind of before we pressed record or not, but you were just talking about how much my videos had impacted you and what you're doing. And, we haven't connected and talked about that, right?
Yeah.
So here I am having this big impact on you, and I have no idea that I had this impact on you.
Indeed.
But so what I do is, most people will assume that they're speaking a message and nobody's listening and it has no impact. So if you reach 50 people, that those 50 people don't matter. I assume that some of those 50 people are going to be impacted because you're a story. I never heard from you that how much of an impact I've had until however many years later we're having this conversation.
Yeah.
Just assume that some of your words are sinking in. I'm assuming that somebody who's watching this video, who's part of Camilita's inner circle, I'm assuming somebody's going to build $1 billion company. And that this video is going to be a tiny little piece, a little bit of that momentum to help you get to where you need to go, as opposed to assuming nobody's watching, nobody cares, 50 people, I suck, so I'm going to quit. Like, that's the thing that got me through the first 5 years. And for some people it might be shorter. Like Camilita could do it faster because of her personality and big heart. I mean, you could just do it faster, but it's not nothing. It's not tomorrow. And so there's still that mountain to climb, whether it's a 1-year mountain or a 5-year mountain. For me, there's still that mountain to climb. And as long as you keep focusing on who you are helping instead of who you're not, I think I think the people who you are helping take you to who you're not. And I think it's also a recipe for just happiness, because now you feel like what you do matters.
So let's talk about that. Happiness. Now, there are people who are very happy with their job and with their lot, as you weren't, hence the reason you started doing something else. You wanted to do something that was sort of more your heart. But there are people right now who are listening to you and they are not happy. They don't know. And I read a little excerpt from you just now on YouTube before we got online. And I thought, wow, from the book, Built to Serve, there are so many people that are not happy. Why Built to Serve? Why this book? Why now? Tell us a little bit about what's in the book and sort of why now? Why is it so many people are walking around unhappy? Do they not have somebody they can talk to change? Are they not listening to enough videos to change? Like, what do they do to change?
So I wrote the book because I was doing a tour across the US. We hit 23 cities in 90 days. And in every city, I kept getting asked the same question. Like, how do I find my purpose? How do I find my passion? What am I supposed to be doing? Like, in every city. And it's the same problem. This is not just an American problem. I mean, I'm Canadian, but this is a global problem. We all want to feel like what we do matters. Yeah. We all want to wake up and feel like today is going to matter and our work will touch somebody else's life. That's all part of it, but we don't know how to do it. And so when I went to the different cities, I said, oh, this is easy. Like, figuring out your purpose is not, you don't have to sit on the mountain for 10 years meditating. Like, this is really easy. Your purpose comes from your pain. Whatever you struggled the most with as a human is what you want to help other people through.
Ooh, say that again. Say that again.
I don't know what I said. That was a moment in time. What did I say?
Somebody's listening. I'm listening. Your purpose comes from your pain. What do we do with that pain? Do we help others out of their pain situation? What do we do?
Yeah. So you think about what was the most painful moment in your life. And not physical pain, like you broke your arm or something, but mental pain, like emotional pain. When did you feel worthless? When did you feel the most worthless as a human being? And we've all been there. We've all felt that. It's not something you're probably sharing on Instagram, but we've been there. So what was it? What caused that? And then you've come through. You've come through. Like, you're not that same person anymore. You've grown, you've learned, you've adapted. If you were to look at Camilita 5 years ago, to say, in 5 years, I'm going to have this show, I'm going to be interviewing my heroes, you'd be like, there's no way that's happening. And yet you're here, right? So you right now have done the impossible for what Camilita 5 or 10 years ago would have thought was possible. You've done it. You are the impossible. You've done it. It's great.
I love it.
We don't give ourselves enough credit, often looking backwards, because you're still focused on where am I going?
Yeah, of course.
But you are an inspiration, a hero, an impossibility to Camilita from 5 years ago. Great. Now you recognize there are millions of people who currently are Camilita from 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And they need your help, and they need your voice, and they need your guidance. And you can touch them in a way that Evan Carmichael can't, that Tony Robbins can't, that whoever person can't, because your story will connect with them in a way that mine won't.
Yeah.
And so it's about getting that message out. It's about sharing that message. And when you start to do that, whatever helped you get over it is what you can then you can then serve people and help them get over it and get paid to do it. I think you should make money doing it too. It's not just some charity. I think money is important. It should be in your top 5. It just can't be number 1.
Indeed.
And so most people, we've all been through some pain. We tend to try to either hide it or bury it, or just be positive and look forward, or recognize that you have to go back inside the pain, not to live there, but because that's your actual core of service.
Yeah.
That there's so many people who are right now in pain and they don't see any hope and they don't know how to get out of it and they don't think it's possible, but you're the living proof that it is, and you're staying silent on it and preventing other people from growing.
Ooh, right there's powerful. Right there.
Don't ask me to say that again, because I don't know what I said. We're just flowing here. We're flowing.
I can remind you. So let's talk about that pain point. Has there been a pain point in your life looking back, and that was the kick you needed up the assets to do what you're doing now? What was that pain point for you?
Quitting on my first business. So I quit. The worst day of my life was when I quit on my business partner. We were working. I mean, I was working every day, all day, from sun up to sundown, from my business partner's dining room table. And I'm making $300 a lunch and packing the same bean salad lunch every day because it was cheap and would fill me up. And I slowly started to hate my life because it's one thing if you're not trying and you're not getting results, but I was trying every day, all day long, and just nothing, no results, just zero. And I remember I called them up and said, I quit. I have to go find something that makes me feel useful as a human being. Wow. I wasn't, in depression or suicidal or anything like that, but just, I felt useless. And then I woke up the next day and I felt, okay, I can't quit yet because I'm going to regret it if I do. And I had there's a quote from Oprah that was in my head that's just, find another way to stand.
Ooh, love that.
You have to find another way to stand. Like, you don't quit, but you just find another way to stand. So okay, what's another way that I can stand? And it took me a while. The whole purpose and pain thing wasn't, I didn't know it then. If I was to go back to 19-year-old Evan, that would be, one of the messages I would talk about. But I later realized that, and my biggest pain is quitting on my business and feeling like I'm not worth anything. And so I didn't have any belief. So what do I want to try to do? I want to spread belief. Absolutely. And I want to spread it in entrepreneurs, mostly because I struggled so much as an entrepreneur. Yeah, I'll spread belief to anybody, but my heart is in entrepreneurship because that's what I struggled the most with.
I love it. And for everybody that's listening, I mean, I want to ask just one more question before we close off, because this is really, really powerful. Just the way you developed your own life, your own brand, your own business, and obviously you're developing more brands as you go along. Since you're over 40 like me, when you decide to just chill, what is the legacy?
I am okay. Hold on. Well, so this is a big question for 1 minute. I don't think about legacy at all because I'm dead. So I don't care what you say about me when I'm dead. I care more about what I'm doing while I'm alive.
Ooh.
So, and that's just my own, I care zero if you're building statues for Evan Carmichael or naming schools after me, or like, I'm an introvert. I don't like the spotlight. I don't need it on me. I care about the impact that we have. So I don't think about legacy. What was the first part of your question?
Legacy after, but now, sort of are you living, let me rephrase the question. Are you living your legacy now? And when you leave this planet, what do you want to leave in people so that they can remember something you did that transformed?
There's a key word that you said that I forgot that I really wanted to hone in on, but I feel like I'm living. Oh, chill. No, the chill.
Yeah. Chill.
I want to answer that one because I am. This is chilling.
I love it.
Talking to you that's my version of chill. Is this work? Is this work for you? Is this
I love it.
for you?
I love it.
This is chill. Like I'm coming into this carrying the energy of my whole day, right? Like I just talked to the co-founder of Netflix. I'm carrying the vibe from him to talk to you. And then I have something else coming up in 3 minutes and I'm taking your energy into that. Like I have more energy leaving you than I had coming in.
Yeah.
This isn't work for, this is my chill. And it's, I get it for other people that might feel like work. Great. Like don't step into my life. The idea is to step into yours. So that if you only see it as work, I think something is wrong. This is chill. This is fun. This is playtime. I love this. Like this is amazing. And the more time you can spend doing that, I think leads to happiness and maybe leads to, if you care about a legacy, I think that's how you go off and create it. If you have to have a vacation from your life, I think your life is broken.
Ooh, wow. I love that. Wow. If you have to have a vacation from your life is broken. Wow.
There you go. Tweet that out.
Like seriously, man. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Look, I just want to finish off with the book. Please tell people where to get the book, how they can get the book, why they need to get the book, and obviously to follow you everywhere on social media.
Listen, get the book because Camilita said to, you know. You can get it on Amazon. If you like audiobooks, I read it myself. There's a lot of fire in that as well. So Amazon's probably the easiest spot to pick it up. And if you do, take a picture and send it to me and say that Camilita sent you.
Yes, please do that. Evan, thank you so much. You are indeed amazing. You've inspired me no end. And so you've given me a word, which I'm not going to tell you. You will see it, I promise you, that I'm going to use to really push it out there and do exactly as you said. You've been brilliant. You're amazing. Your life is a living testimony of truly built to serve. And now you're offering everybody the chance to do that themselves. So thank you so much for your time today. Go and kick butt on social media. I'm following you. Remember, I'm following you everywhere. Go get it done. And again, indeed, I will see you at the top.
Let's go. Thank you, Camilita. Thank you for the love. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.